Monk Mode Chapter 3. Here we go. Welcome to the show. If you haven't been here, I do monk modes every so often. And what a monk mode is a hyper focus on several activities so that I can starve the things that distract me and ultimately just get me closer to my goals. That's my definition. Some people might say it differently. So, what are the things that I'll be focusing on? There'll be 5. I've learned from the first one that 8 is too many, and from the second one to be somewhat reasonable. You should push yourself with these daily tasks, but if you're doing them for 30 days, make them attainable. So here they are, and I can explain them after I tell them. First one, visit a gravesite or a cemetery every day. Before you click off, I'll explain it, I promise. First one's the gravesite. Second one is going to be 5 minutes of silence. Like, very intentional silence with no sound, just open head. It's not meditation, but it's just silent, particularly so that I can listen to God. But also just silence in general, like slowing down. Third one is reading 5 pages every day. Doesn't matter what book, just 5 pages of a book. Could be the Bible, could be a book I'm reading right now, which I'm reading the Circle Maker. You can look it up, I'd recommend. So read 5 pages. Like we all know scrolling's bad. So those are the first 3. The last 2 is record myself for 5 minutes every day. Just getting reps on, like, in front of a camera, talking, speaking, being familiar with this. And the last one is 5 miles per week that I would run. I used to run in middle school and high school, have not run the last 4 years or so, at least not consistently. So just to do that, healthy rhythms back. So let's explain them, right? Why gravesites? That sounds so weird. Well, I was actually first explained this by a speaker. His name is Dr. Michael Brown. He's a professor at the University of Bowling Green, which is in Ohio. And I heard him speaking, and he said he did this. And as soon as he said that, I'm like, man, this guy is crazy. Why would he do that? Like, what's the benefit? Like, I was curious, but also cautious, like, this is not normal. And he said this. He says, he's like, I do this every day, and he's I don't know, 40s, maybe 50, maybe 50s. He says, it forces a posture of reflection, and that's something that is lost, especially in this current culture. And what that means more specifically is we are so distracted by everything. Busyness, thoughts, phones, not even thoughts. Like, we don't really think. At least I'm Gen Z. We don't really think. So it just forces a posture of reflection, of just like, I'm going to die one day. So how am I using every day to the full advantage? Am I getting upset about trivial things that don't matter? Or am I really taking advantage of these conversations with my parents, with my family, with friends around me? Like experiences. Am I buying something in exchange for not going somewhere and doing life? So that's the main reason for the gravesite thing. And I messaged him. I'm like, hey, I would love some questions, but I'll save that for another day of what he recommended. I ask myself when I'm there. The 5 pages every day of reading, this sounds like, again, I don't like to be normal. Like not my thumbnail, but if you go to my channel page, it says live to be uncomfortable. Do things that push your comfortable limit, because if you're always comfortable, you're not learning, you're not changing. Change should be difficult so that like you can make a difference. So when I say read 5 pages, I'm like, just like everybody else, we're scrolling so often. I don't have Instagram. I have a Facebook, but I never use it. But I have YouTube Shorts, and I use it as an excuse of saying I don't have social media, but it does the same exact thing. It distracts, it's entertaining, it doesn't give me I'm just taking from this and I'm not creating anything. And like, this is not healthy. So I bought a sling so I can have my book on me at all times. And I'm not wearing it in the car, of course, but is that weird? Is that goofy? Yeah. But do I care about using the moments when I'm waiting in line or wherever else to get my book out? Yes, like really. So 5 pages every day, that's an easy attainable task. So Gravesite's gonna be the hardest because I'm gonna have to drive, go out of my way, do that. And the 5 pages in the book. 5 minutes of silence, that should be easy, right? Like, these are like, okay, I can do this. It's not that difficult. And I think some of you might be like, 5 minutes of silence seems pointless, because it's really, like when we pray, and you pray and then you just go about your day. But then how do you expect God to answer your prayer if you're not there to listen? It's like asking your friend a question on the phone and then immediately hanging up. It's like, what? No, you have to like wait for them to answer. So I'm practicing waiting on a response. I'm practicing being in a receptive state to what he has. And that's what and at the very least, it's just, I'm able to process things, like think about my day, use thought, at the very least, if nothing else. So then there's the 5 minutes of vlogging, or just recording, or just like, I value communication. I like to do things, I like to present ideas well, I like to explain things in a great way, and I'm only going to do that by getting better at it, by doing reps. So stuff like this is super helpful for me, and I think obviously whoever watches this is somewhat interested. What is Monk Mode? Who is this guy? Or I've seen him before, I want to see what he's up to, that kind of thing. And then finally, the last thing is running 5 miles a week. That's like when I'm least excited about. Like, I'm more excited to go to a gravesite and contemplate life than go put on my running shoes and go for a run. Like, ugh. But it's a healthy thing. It's a healthy thing that I want to do. So boom. Ooh. All right. Caught me in a moment here. So it's been a minute since okay, give me a minute to cook. Adversity shapes the man, boldness defines the warrior. Peace.